so weird and so cool and so surreal. My mom get to watch her son and her grandson play in the NBA at the same time.
After months of rumors and closed-door meetings across the league, the Cavaliers made a move that almost no one saw coming, but insiders suggest this potential LeBron James trade goes far beyond basketball, with the real reason likely catching fans off guard. Right now, LeBron is playing out the final season of his 2-year contract worth $11.4 million, which he signed as an extension with the Lakers. His current salary stands at $52.6 million for this season after he chose to pick up his player option back in June of 2025, setting the stage for what could be his 23rd year in the NBA. That deal includes a full no-trade clause, meaning LeBron has the final say on any possible move, and while league sources confirm he plans to stay with Los Angeles through the end of the 2025-26 season without any mid-year change, something has clearly changed behind the scenes. On a late January night in 2026, the Lakers came to Cleveland for a game on the 29th, and LeBron James found himself back in the very city that drafted him back in 2003, the same place where he brought home his first championship in 2016, just a short drive from his hometown of Akron, Ohio. The Cavaliers had a video tribute ready for him, and when it played during the first quarter, the crowd watched as number 23 appeared on screen, and the arena welcomed him back to Northeast Ohio. And then something unexpected happened. LeBron James got emotional, tearing up right there in front of the fans, the cameras, and everyone watching from home. After the game, which ended in a loss for the Lakers, he sat down with reporters and spoke openly about what comes next.
It gets asked more, and the thought, creeps in my mind more at 41 years old of when the end is and where's the finish line for us to hang this thing up. So, but the drive on, how much like juice I can squeeze out of this orange, and how can I continue to, I'm at a battle with Father Time, and I'm kind of taking it personal.
He also talked about playing with his son Bronny in Cleveland.
So weird and so cool and so surreal. My mom get to watch her son and her grandson play in the NBA at the same time. I actually just started to think about how insane that is.
And he opened up about the possibility of one day sharing the court with his son Bronny in Cleveland.
When I saw LeBron James, a brother of mine, shedding tears because he has dedicated his entire life to this game of basketball. That's all he knows. And when we talk about greatness, he is that. And so, yeah, it hit me watching it from the TV that, hey, I don't believe that this year is going to be his final year, but I do believe that next year is going to be his final year. And in my opinion, it needs to be with the Cavs.
Perkins continued with his stance.
It needs to be with the Cavs. He needs to have his farewell tour. He has earned that. The fans deserve it. He deserves it. And I mean, just watching Bron shed tears, I've never seen him cry a day in my life, and I've been knowing him since 1996.
Just days later, on February 3rd and 4th of 2026, the Cavaliers made a huge trade, bringing in James Harden from the Los Angeles Clippers and sending Darius Garland along with a 2026 second-round pick the other way. That move instantly made Cleveland a serious title contender, and then came the news that shifted everything. ESPN's Dave McMenamin reported the Cavaliers would welcome LeBron James back for a third stint if he signed with them as a free agent over the summer. People close to LeBron pointed to Cleveland as a clear choice if he decided to keep playing, and according to Joe Vardon and Jason Lloyd of The Athletic, LeBron will become a free agent this offseason, and if he wants to play a 24th year in the league, those same sources say Cleveland stands out as the natural landing spot. His next contract won't come close to the $52.6 million he's making now with the Lakers, but at age 41 he fully understands how the market works if he chooses to keep going. And everything seemed to be lining up. With a lineup featuring Harden, Mitchell, Mobley, and Allen already in place, adding LeBron would be something else, and sources say Donovan Mitchell and James Harden plan to recruit him hard this summer. The two already share a connection from winning Olympic gold together back in 2012, and Mitchell grew up rooting for the Cavaliers because of LeBron. So the real question now is not whether Cleveland wants him back, because they clearly do. The real question is whether LeBron wants to come home one more time. The bond between LeBron James and Cleveland goes far beyond basketball stats or championship trophies. It runs through the streets of Akron, through the hallways of St. Vincent St. Mary High School, and through decades of shared history that no other city can touch. LeBron was born in Akron on December 30th, 1984, and his early years were marked by struggle. He missed nearly 80 days of school in the 4th grade before finding stability with the Walker family, who welcomed him in and introduced him to organized basketball. From those humble beginnings came the most watched high school athlete the country had ever seen. The Cavaliers selected him first overall in 2003 when he was just 18 years old. With no college experience, he dropped 25 points in his very first NBA game and took home Rookie of the Year honors. By 2005, he was already an all-star starter, and by 2007, he carried Cleveland to its first ever NBA Finals appearance. Though that run ended in a sweep, the team around him just was not strong enough to win it all. After 7 seasons of falling short in the playoffs, LeBron made his choice in 2010, announcing live on television that he was taking his talents to South Beach, and Cleveland fans responded by burning his jersey, while owner Dan Gilbert published a letter calling him a coward. LeBron went on to win 2 championships in Miami and came back a more polished and complete player, ready to lead a franchise to the top. Then in 2014, he wrote an essay for Sports Illustrated titled "I'm Coming Home" and returned to Cleveland, teaming up with Kyrie Irving and Kevin Love to lead the Cavaliers to 4 straight finals appearances. In 2016, he pulled off the impossible, trailing 3-1 against the 73-win Golden State Warriors. LeBron engineered the greatest comeback in finals history, averaging a triple-double, making that iconic block on Andre Iguodala and finally ending Cleveland's 52-year championship drought. That title meant more than just a trophy. It was redemption for LeBron, for Cleveland, for a city that had been told for decades it could not win. He left again in 2018, this time for the Lakers, but the connection with Cleveland never truly broke, and the January 2026 tribute proved that bond is still strong when the video played inside Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse showing clips from his high school days at St. Vincent St. Mary. LeBron could not hold back the tears. They came naturally and unexpectedly in front of 20,000 fans who still see him as one of their own.
I've been knowing Bron since about 1996, okay?
Way back.
And I've never seen him this emotional outside of like winning a championship. And there was something in that video that struck a nerve. I believe he talked about when he was 22 years old.
Perkins elaborated on what that moment represented.
And what happens is things start to sink in. Right, when you talk about Mama Glow being in the stands and all of a sudden Bronny is on the bench and everybody in the stands is rooting your name, you seeing the security guards you used to dab up all the time, all the staff around the arena. When you was a youngster, LeBron James is Cleveland.
Yeah.
He is.
The work LeBron has done off the court only strengthens those ties through the LeBron James Family Foundation, which has put more than $20 million into Akron, opening the I Promise School in 2018 to help struggling elementary students, along with the I Promise Village for transitional housing, House 330 for job training, and the I Promise Health Quarters providing medical care to the community. These are not just feel-good projects, they are real investments in people who grew up just like he did. Kids missing school because life at home is unstable, families needing support to break the cycle of poverty. LeBron has said many times that this work is what he is most proud of, not the championships, not the MVP awards, not the scoring records, but the kids in Akron and Cleveland offer something no other place can, which is closeness to all of that, closeness to his mother Gloria and closeness to the community that shaped him long before basketball made him a billionaire. The emotional pull of possibly ending his career where it all started is hard to ignore. Kobe Bryant had his farewell tour with the only team he ever knew. Michael Jordan came back to Chicago for his final years, not counting the Washington stop, and the greatest players often look for closure with the franchises that define them. For LeBron, that franchise is Cleveland, the city where a kid from Akron grew into a global star, the city that forgave him for leaving, and the city that celebrated with him when he brought home the only championship in Cavaliers history. Donovan Mitchell spoke directly about what a LeBron return would mean for the team and for the city.
I mean, I think playing LeBron what could be the last game. I personally don't think it's the end. I think, just knowing that game, what that means to the city, what it means to him, what it means to the league, what it means to me, it's going to be a special one.
The Cavaliers are not simply chasing LeBron for sentimental reasons. They want him because he raises the level of the team, because having him in the locker room shifts the mindset of every player around him, and because he understands exactly what it takes to win championships.
Like, let me just keep it real with you.
Yeah.
Like, LeBron is exactly what they need. The exact middle missing piece. Because it's not about the basketball stuff. It's the other stuff. It's the, let me show you how to do this, son. Let me get you together. And then Donovan, think about it.
Yeah.
You got 2 dudes. Think about this. It's a game 7. You think LeBron James and Donovan gonna let you use?
The emotional pull toward Cleveland is powerful, but the practical side of things comes down to whether the money can actually work, and in the NBA, finances always make things complicated. The league's collective bargaining agreement punishes teams that go past certain spending limits, and the Cavaliers, even with their eyes on a title, are dealing with real financial hurdles that will decide if a LeBron reunion can really happen. Right now, LeBron makes $52.6 million, and this summer he becomes an unrestricted free agent under the new CBA. He would qualify for a maximum deal starting at around $58.1 million, but people close to him say he understands how the market works. At age 41, turning 42 in December, he cannot expect a max contract from a team trying to contend. The Cavaliers' payroll situation is already tight, with projected commitments for the 2026-27 season sitting at about $226.9 million, while the second apron threshold is expected to be around $223.7 million, meaning Cleveland is already roughly $3.2 million over that line before adding anyone new. The penalties for going over the second apron are serious under the new CBA teams above. It cannot use sign and trades to bring in players, they cannot combine salaries in deals, and they face limits on trading for draft picks. All of this was designed to stop super teams from loading up through financial tricks. For Cleveland to give LeBron a max contract, they would need to clear about $60 million in space, which would likely mean trading Jarrett Allen at $28.9 million or another key piece, and that kind of move would hurt the very core that makes Cleveland an appealing destination for him in the first place. The more realistic path involves LeBron taking far less money. Forbes analyst Brian Toprek laid out the options if Cleveland can get under the first apron. Projected at around $210.7 million, they could offer the non-taxpayer mid-level exception worth about $15.1 million if they stay above the first apron, but below the second they could offer the taxpayer mid-level exception at roughly $6.1 million. If the Cavaliers cannot get under the second apron at all, their only option would be the veteran minimum, which comes out to about $3 million for a player with more than 10 years in the league. The James Harden trade actually helped Cleveland's financial situation because swapping Darius Garland for Harden kept salaries nearly the same while cutting down their luxury tax exposure, and when they sent DeAndre Hunter to Sacramento for Dennis Schroeder and other pieces, they shaved another $44 to $50 million off their tax bill. More moves could free up even more room. Turning down Lonzo Ball's $10 million team option would save that amount right away, and if Harden decides to opt out of his $42.3 million player option for 2026-27 and then signs for less money, Cleveland might be able to slip under the apron altogether.